with a loud salva. She's here. Alli. She's here from CodePink organization. I would like to listen to her. Please welcome her with a loud salawat.
Thank you, everyone. Are you all staying hydrated? Yes, okay, great. Well, I'm sorry that I missed the part of the embassy, but I heard amazing things about the rally there from my CodePink colleagues, Medea Benjamin and others who were just there with you. So my name is Alli McCracken, and I'm also one of the directors of CodePink. CodePink began, I'm not sure if Medea told you, but CodePink began when Bush was threatening to invade Iraq, a country that never attacked the United States of America. And when Bush wanted to invade Iraq in 2002, he instituted a color-coded terrorist threat alert. So maybe you might remember Code Red for high security threat, Code Orange. Well, a group of women got together and they said, hey, this system is meant to keep us in a state of perpetual fear to justify war, and they declared Code Pink for peace. So that's where we come from, and since then, we've been working for over a decade to challenge U.S. militarism at home and abroad. We're working to hold our government here accountable for indefinite detention and torture in Guantanamo, drone strikes that are killing children in Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia, the illegal and immoral wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and the over 800 military bases across the world. We think that our government should be spending trillions of dollars on our communities and your communities instead of on war. So part of our work is also holding our allies accountable. Did you know we send $3.1 billion every year to Israel in military aid? That's $10.4 million every single day. Do you think we should be sending Israel money to occupy the Palestinians? No! Did you know we send Egypt $1.3 billion every year that the Sisi regime uses to jail and beat and even kill peaceful protesters and journalists? Do you think we should be sending billions of dollars to Egypt? No! But the biggest recipient of U.S. weapons is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is one of the U.S.'s closest allies in the region. The U.S. should know that our role in the Middle East has been a part of the problem that is contributing to the crises that are going on there now. So from fighter jets to small arms to even tanks, there are U.S. companies that are literally making a killing out of Saudi Arabia's killing in Yemen. And there's one company in particular that sells one of the most egregious weapons that we make here in the United States. And that company is called Textron, and they make cluster bombs. Cluster bombs are internationally banned by countries that have signed a treaty saying that they won't use these horrible weapons. But the United States and Saudi Arabia have not signed that treaty. Shame! Shame! Cluster bombs are the bombs that have hundreds of bomblets in them. They disperse indiscriminately over civilian areas, and not all of the small bomblets explode immediately. So oftentimes children pick them up because they're small and they're shiny, and they even look a little bit like toys. And these children and other innocent civilians are oftentimes maimed or even killed when those bombs detonate afterward. So Textron, the company, has its headquarters in Providence, Rhode Island, and manufacturing factories in Rhode Island and Massachusetts. And there are activist groups who are protesting every month outside of Textron saying, no more cluster bombs, and especially no more cluster bombs to Saudi Arabia. So I want to invite all of you to join CodePink and other organizations like the American Friends Service Committee and Peace Action, who are holding the companies in the United States accountable for sending these horrible weapons, not just to Saudi Arabia, but all over the world. Cluster bombs are being used in Yemen, which was already one of the poorest countries in the world before Saudi Arabia started its war of aggression over a year ago that has left thousands of civilians dead. Yemen is facing a humanitarian disaster and a famine that is impacting the most vulnerable in the country, especially children. So how is the U.S. government justifying sending these weapons? The State Department and Obama have to approve the weapons to Saudi Arabia. We know from decades of U.S. military intervention in the Middle East that we are making the problems worse. We know from failed wars in Iraq and Afghanistan that military solutions are not the answer, and we need political solutions. We need to stop spending trillions of dollars on war and start investing in political solutions. And we need to hold our government accountable. You know, at CodePink, we're on the Hill all the time. We're protesting, we disrupt war criminals, but sometimes we lobby, and sometimes we have conferences. And I have to tell you, this isn't a part of the conversation. People aren't talking about Saudi human rights abuses inside Saudi Arabia and outside Saudi Arabia like Yemen. So I want to call on each and every one of you to force this issue, like today, into the national dialogue. I want to keep mobilizing all of our communities to hold the companies accountable who are profiting from death, hold our elected officials accountable, and use our political leverage as people who live here in the United States of America to stop our government from enabling the Saudi monarchy from committing so many human rights abuses inside and outside of Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. Hope you'll join us.
Thank you. Terrorist! 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 Terrorist!